Hey guys, Nick here. Thanks for coming by. Um, it's early in the morning here, and I woke up and I was hurting as always, physically. And it was a little bit tough to get out of bed, so I took a little bit extra time, took a hot shower, shaved my head, did the normal maintenance stuff, and I that made me kind of start feeling better. But it it triggered something in my mind as far as, how do you know that somebody is hurting? And I don't just mean physically, I mean, emotionally. And it got the gears turning. And, you know, I, I I realized that, we don't really know what is going on in somebody's life, and we paint, we put on a happy face, and just keep going, but a lot of people, may be having issues with their children, maybe having issues with their spouse or family or work, and I feel like, as human beings, we kind of put a wall up, and it made me realize that we don't really know, what someone's got going on in their life, and I say a lot, be the difference in someone's day today, and that sounds like a pretty, magnanimous, hope I use that word right, thing to do, but it can be something as simple as opening the door for somebody. That doesn't happen, as often as it used to. I feel, one of my favorite things to do is to people watch. I think that, people, it's just fascinating, to me to see, uh, you know, to see people when they don't think anyone's looking. And I'm not saying, looking in someone's window, but just out in public. I think that, we get so involved, in just our daily routine that even when we're straight out in public, we think that no one's watching or no one notices. Especially when, like say we're in the car, I think it's hilarious because I used to, be one of those people back when I was driving, that would be singing at the top of my lungs, or really into a song. And I can't even think about how many people, looked over at me, and just got a giggle, while I'm rocking out at a red light, or, we always, think that just because, we're in our car that no one can see, which, funny fact, this is why I don't drive other people's cars. The number one pastime when people are in the car is picking their nose. So, I'll drive Carrie's car, but other than that, no, just for that reason. Just a little funny fact for this morning. But you don't really know how badly somebody, may be battling. That sentence didn't really come out right, I guess. But Carrie said something to me, a couple years ago that you don't really know what someone's bottom is. And depression especially can look very, very different, from person to person, just because we process things differently. Different things bother different people in different ways. Some people are born, with a natural chemical imbalance. Some people get depressed, based on situation. Some people, can be depressed because maybe they were on a certain medication that they're not on anymore. Maybe they're trying out a new medication. Maybe there's, just major, major personal things with family. I mean, we're at or I'm at the age now, where, I think about, how my parents were, when they were in their 40s, and those were the older members of the family. And I just sit there and think, my God, now we are that older generation, in that family dynamic. And that's a weird thing to think about, and I'm But I'm one of those people that doesn't believe in a rock bottom. I because it can always, be worse. And I go to, AA, for example. I've been pretty open about that. But even in, different rehabs, and self help books, a lot of times you hear rock bottom, or you'll hear someone say, "Oh, you haven't hit your bottom yet," and I think that's the best way to put it, your bottom. Because, it's like, I was just sitting here thinking about, we had the flooring that we had put in by ourselves. We had at our place, we had pulled the carpet up, made it sure everything was level, and put the hardwood floor down ourselves. And now, because of the flooding issue that we had in the kitchen, all that flooring got ripped up. And I thought that was an incredible metaphor, and an analogy, because you can always redesign your bottom, and the I feel like the true rock bottom is death, and that's not really a bottom. That's it. And and I feel like, being able, or just having the ability to keep going, is a gift in and of itself. And so when I talk about being the difference in someone's day, I mentioned, opening the door to someone. It can be a smile, or looking someone in the eye. And I'm a bad listener. I'm really, really bad about interrupting. And that's one of the things, self-admittedly, that I wish that I didn't do, especially when Carrie's talking to me, because my mind's always going. And I do listen and I do hear, but I'm not a good listener from the perspective of other people, and that's a cross that I bear, that I try to work on, and it comes from a good place, but it's rude. It's so rude to interrupt, and I'm the worst at doing that. It's a flaw that I have, that I work on, or I'm trying to work on. But eye contact is so important. Um, because when you're having a conversation with somebody, it should just be the two of you, or if you're talking in a group, make sure that other people feel validated in their opinion. Um, and I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but I've touched on a lot of things that kind of at a higher level, and I plan on kind of delving into some of them on a more specific basis. Like being the difference in someone's day. But try to do that today. You know, Even if you've got a neighbor, that maybe you haven't seen them in a while. Maybe it's a family member, that you haven't talked to in a while. Give them a call or shoot them a text. Um, I would actually push giving them a call, because a text message can be very impersonal. But a simple phone call, just say, "Hey, I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking about you today." That can be a huge difference in someone's life and someone's day. So, guys, I also wanted just to let you guys know that I have been truly touched with how many of you have began to follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I had 3 followers because I didn't really use it all that much. I happened to glance last night, and all of a sudden I've got 88. That's just people. I don't know if it's just spam, or because my YouTube presence has gotten a little bit bigger. People have just started to click and follow. But I plan on having a little bit of bonus stuff on my Twitter feed. For example, this morning I did a preview. I posted a video a couple hours early from when it's actually supposed to be released. So I'm just starting to think about stuff like that. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comment box. Like I said, I try to reply to all of them. If nothing else, I give a like and a love. But I read them all. I want all of you to know that. I read them all. So I'm about to hit the 10-minute mark, so I am going to stop there. I may record some more stuff here later on in the day, the more I just kind of think and kind of go about my day. But I love you guys. As always, there's a link in the box, the description box for liver disease and cirrhosis support. As always, guys, you know it's there if you've already looked. If not, take a look. There's some pretty good stuff on there and some great people. Know that you're not alone. Be the difference in someone's day to day. All right. Talk to you guys later.